Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. My name is Ash, and today I'm going to be doing a review for Lacuna, a sci-fi noir adventure on Xbox. Now, this was released onto the store on the 21st of December 2021. Now, it's developed by Digitales Interactive, and it's published by Assemble Entertainment, and I was lucky enough to get a copy of this for this video review, so big thank you to them for that. Now, this game is really, really good. I'll say that right off the bat. This game, I wasn't sure what to expect when I first saw it, especially with the pixel art style and stuff. It didn't originally sort of jump out at me, but man, it is fantastic. So, if you like point and click adventure games, if you like sort of detective games, if you like sort of sci-fi noir sort of games, this is a game you are probably going to love. Now, the pixel art graphics are fantastic. Honestly, they make it just feel it just works. Like I say, it didn't look like it worked when I first saw screenshots and stuff prior to playing the game, but when I played it, it all looks fantastic, and the environments are so lush and detailed, and there's things moving in the background. There's just so much going on. They've done a really, really fantastic job. Now, the plot of the game is simple. You are Neil Conrad, a CDI agent who is basically awoken by the news of a murder. So you rush into a case that will soon turn your life and the whole solar system upside down. You've got to ask questions, collect evidence, and put the pieces together until the ugly truth reveals itself or not. So, like I say, this game is very much sort of, it plays like a classic point and click game. There's lots of dialogue options, lots of interacting with the environments and stuff like that, lots of doing detective works. Like, you'll end up early on in the game, you start at a crime scene, and you've got to sort of survey the area and sort of look for clues and speak to people who were there to sort of try and piece together what's happened. And your actions and what you decide can sort of affect how the story plays out. Now, there are many different sort of story branches and different endings that are based on your actions. So you can play it in different sorts of ways as well. So there's a lot of replayability in the game. I highly enjoyed it, and I would look forward to going through a second time and trying different options and stuff like that to see how it plays out. Now, I liked it also. It gives you the choice early in the game. It's like, do you want to help him smoke, or do you want to help him quit? And it's like, but if you let him smoke, he gets to look at these beautiful environments. And I was like, oh right, well I want to see how good these environments look. So puffing away on the cigarettes, and they're really good. There's certain points in the levels, like the areas, where you can stop and smoke, and basically it goes into this really nice artwork. It's really cool. Like I say, I mean, I'd probably do it where you don't smoke in the second playthrough, but in my playthrough I picked smoking because just to enjoy the environment art, basically. Now, it plays really well. Like I said, there's lots of dialogue options. Some of these dialogue options are time-based as well, so it's very reactionary. You've got to sort of pick your answers as and when you've got to say them. You can't really think about them. It's sort of very much like, boom, you've got to give them an answer quickly. I don't want to sort of spoil what happens and stuff like that, but there are sections where that is important. And the plot, it's very sort of futuristic sci-fi. You first start out, you're playing as a different character in this the prequel, and it sort of sets up the game depending on how you play this prequel, from what I can gather, and it sort of ends on a cliffhanger, setting up what's happening. And I was like, oh, this is really cool. I was into it. Like I say, when it first started, for the first sort of 5 minutes, I felt it was a bit slow, and I was like, oh, this is plodding. And then suddenly it just sort of ramps up, and then the prologue ends, and you're like, oh wow, what's going to happen next? And then you jump into this other character in the future, and you're just a down on his luck sort of agent, and there's do you want to look after your family? you're speaking to your wife at the beginning, she's like, you need to go see your daughter, you don't see her enough and stuff, and you have the option just to blow her off or go and do it and stuff. And all these little side quests, it's like you can you can spend time like trying to be a better father and have like, better relationships, or you can try and like work on the case, and it's all a part of like juggling it around. So I'd love to see how it plays differently if you sort of didn't focus on like the less important side quests and focus just on the main quest, etc., and vice versa. But there's so much to see and do. Like I say, it's really, really interesting. The areas themselves aren't huge, but you sort of traverse between them on like subway trains, because your character literally doesn't have a car, doesn't drive, he only travels on trains. He's proper like retro, he loves it. So he's always turning up like slightly late because he's always on a train, which I thought was funny right at the beginning of the game. The dialogue is fantastic, like I say, really well done. There's the only thing I didn't like is you get to certain bits and it's like you've been given these sheets, and the sheet is like a multiple choice test relating to sort of what you're doing, whether it's like an investigation or like a crime scene. And you basically, to progress to the next section, you have to fill this form in and give it to someone, or so like submit it. And you basically have to answer these questions. Now, if you don't get them right, it doesn't end the game, but it can negate and mess up the ending. You might get a worse ending by getting things wrong. But I just felt it felt like I was just doing a test all the time, which was the only thing I didn't like about the game. I get why they're there to sort of make sure you're actually paying attention and stuff, but it was the only thing that sort of pulled me out. Like, you have access to emails and news reports and stuff, and you can like download more news by like connecting to like this news board, and they sort of build up the backstories of the games, and you get emails from people and stuff, and texts and everything, and it was really, really interesting. But I just didn't like the sheet system. It may just be me, but I just thought there might have been a bit of a better way to do it. And like I say, if you've missed something as well, you're like blindly putting stuff in, and it won't help you basically. Now, some of the sections are narrated as well, and they've done a very good job with the audio narration. But for the majority of the game, it is just text-based. It doesn't matter, but like I said, I just wanted to highlight that the stuff that they did do the audio on was absolutely fantastic as well. So it gave a really nice sort of feel to the game when it was doing it, like a very sort of like watching a film where the sort of person's narrating their life, basically. I thought that was really cool. But overall, the game is really good. I highly recommend checking it out. Like I say, there's so much to do, so much replayability. It handles really well, barring the sheet system, I think. There's so many side quests on top of the main quests. The environments look amazing, and they've done such a fantastic job of it. Like I said, I highly recommend it. I would give it a 9 out of 10 if I was going to give it a proper score. It's a very well-rounded, immersive sort of mystery adventure game, and I love the sort of setting as well. When I read it was like sci-fi, I was expecting it to be like really futuristic and robots and all over the place. It's not like that at all. It's very sort of cyberpunky, where it's sort of current day but actually in the future. So it's got a mix of both. But the art and sound design is absolutely fantastic. They have done an amazing job on this, like I say. Now, it is playable on Xbox One and Xbox Series X and S, and it is priced at £16.74. But honestly, I cannot recommend it enough. It's such a good little game. I have enjoyed my time thoroughly on it. Can't wait to jump back into it. And I just highly recommend it. Like I say, it's like a modern point-and-click adventure game with all the bells and whistles and removing all the chaff that didn't work in sort of old-school games. So, like I say, check this game out if you think what you've seen is interesting. If you've enjoyed this video, please hit like, please hit subscribe. It does really help us grow the channel. And check out our website, www.xblpartypodcast.com, for daily gaming news and reviews. That's that, guys. We'll see you soon for more videos. Bye for now.